Get out because I'm moving in with my family, Michael said loudly, pointing at us while my in-laws were busy giving instructions to the movers. His face looked mean, and I couldn't hide my disgust. But Anna, standing next to me, reacted differently. She asked, confused, "Dad, you didn't know?" Michael looked puzzled by her question. Anna was so nervous that not only Michael but also his mom and dad stopped what they were doing and stared at us. But Maria, Michael's mom, kept talking to the movers, not caring about what was happening. Even though Michael's family was acting like this, I was determined to tell the truth. My name is Cheryl James, and I'm 48 years old. I work from home, I began. I have a husband and a daughter, living an ordinary life. After dating Michael for 5 years, he asked me to marry him. I said yes because my mom was often sick, and I wanted her to have peace of mind by seeing me get married. A while after we got married, I found out I was pregnant. Michael was really happy and excited about the baby. When our daughter Anna was born, Michael was very involved, and we were happy. But I had some concerns, especially about my mom. Her health got better when she saw her grandchild and visited us a lot. But as Anna entered middle school, my mom's health started to get worse. I quit my job and started working remotely so I could take care of her. By the time Anna finished middle school, my mom was really happy when we visited, and I hoped she would get better. But around that time, Michael's attitude began to change. He used to help with my mom, but lately, he had been grumpy, complaining that I wasn't paying enough attention to him. "You're going to your mom's again? You don't care about me anymore," he would say. When I was tired from work, Michael would say things like, "You always take care of your sick mother. I wish I were sick too." Even though Anna and I tried to calm him down, he would get angry and push us away. Anna, worried about both Michael and my mom, started to help more. "Mom, leave Dad to me. You should go to Grandma sooner," she'd say with a smile. I always relied on her. One day, while things were going like this, I got a call from my sister-in-law Maria. She suddenly accused me, saying, "You've been neglecting my brother lately." I was so shocked I stared at my phone in disbelief. I thought she must have made a mistake, but it was clearly her name on the screen. Confused by the accusation, I denied it, saying, "It's been a while, Maria. What's going on? I haven't been neglecting Michael." But Maria wasn't having it. She snapped, "Don't act like you don't know. My brother told me you've been ignoring your house and only focusing on your mother. Can you even call yourself a wife?" It was true that I'd been spending more time with my sick mom lately, but I couldn't believe Michael would complain about it to Maria. I wasn't neglecting our home. Anna helped with the chores when she got back from school, and I managed both my work and my mom's care along with housework. Michael had been complaining more lately, but it was mostly about small things, like wanting to eat at fancy restaurants or not liking the smell of the laundry detergent. Nothing major. Just as I was about to explain all of this, Maria cut me off with something shocking. She said, "This has reached our parents too. One day, our angry mother might come to scold you." Then she hung up. I was left speechless, stunned by what just happened. A few minutes later, Anna came home from school and saw me in shock. "Mom, what's wrong?" she asked, looking surprised. After I told her about the call, Anna was just as shocked as I was. She sighed and said, "Mom, there's something I've been thinking about for a while. Can I talk to you?" Nervously, I nodded, and as I listened to her, I felt even more heartbroken. All this time, with Michael's complaints and Maria's harassing calls, it wasn't long before my in-laws finally got involved. After one of my visits to my mother, I came home and was surprised to see my mother-in-law cooking in the kitchen. When I walked into the living room, I was so shocked that I dropped my things and just stared at her. She noticed me, frowned, and walked over. "Oh, you're back. How's your mother?" "Well, have a seat anyway," she said, clearly annoyed. Feeling her frustration, I followed her to the living room sofa, where she gave me a long lecture. She started by scolding me about how I was treating Michael and accused me of neglecting my household duties, even saying I was making Michael do chores. I realized there were some misunderstandings, so I spoke up. "Mother, that's not true. I've never made Michael do the chores. In fact, Michael barely helps." It's actually Anna who helps me." Hearing this, my mother-in-law stood up suddenly, pointed at me, and began shouting, "Do you think I'll believe that lie? Are you saying Michael lied to me? What a terrible daughter-in-law," she yelled angrily, her face red with rage. As she stormed out, she left the stove on and everything behind. I quickly turned off the stove but couldn't chase after her. That evening, Michael was in an oddly good mood, acting unusually kind. Every time I tried to talk, he would cut me off. Anna also noticed this and found it strange, so we decided to stay quiet and not upset him. For the next few days, Michael stayed in a good mood, which made it easier for me to take care of my mom. Sadly, a few days later, my mother passed away quietly. Anna and I, though heartbroken, managed to get through the funeral. We then decided to sort through my mother's belongings at her house. I had hoped Michael would help, but when I mentioned it, he became upset for the first time in a while. So Anna and I took on the task ourselves. The house was full of memories, making it hard to get much done because everything reminded us of her. I called Michael to let him know we were staying at my mom's house for the night. He seemed cheerful and told us, "Take your time and relax since you're already there." But with Anna's school and my work, it wasn't that simple. I told him we'd return home the next day and decided to rest. The next day, after making some progress with sorting, we headed back home. As we got closer to our house, I noticed a big truck parked outside. I wondered what it was, and then I realized it was a moving truck. Michael and my mother-in-law were there, directing the movers. Confused, I ran over with Anna to stop them. Michael stepped forward, puffing out his chest, and said, "Oh, you're back already? It's too late for you to return now." I stood there, shocked, watching as they moved things into the house. Michael crossed his arms and said proudly, "I'm moving in with my family, so you and Anna need to leave." His face twisted into a mean expression, and I couldn't hide my disgust. Anna, standing next to me, looked confused and asked, "Dad, didn't you know?" Michael seemed puzzled by her question. Even his parents stopped what they were doing and looked at us. But Maria continued giving orders to the movers, not caring about what was happening. Despite my frustration with Michael's family, I was determined to speak the truth. "You seem to have forgotten. This house is mine," I said. Michael's parents were shocked, and Michael started to panic, turning pale. Even Maria stopped giving instructions and came over to confront me. "What are you talking about? There's no way you could afford such a nice house," she said with confidence. I replied, "Thanks for the compliment. My father built this house. It's my family home." Maria couldn't believe it and said, "That can't be true. This house looks brand new." I smiled and said, "Does it? Thank you. My mom renovated it for us as a wedding gift. Michael should know this." I couldn't understand how they forgot, but I continued, "This house is in my name, and my mother paid for the renovations. She even moved out to an apartment so we could live here comfortably." Michael, realizing his plan had failed, started to look nervous. Just as I was about to say more, Anna spoke up. "Grandma left a lot of things to me and Mom, but it's not just money. It's land and apartments that can't easily be turned into cash." Hearing this, Michael's eyes lit up, and he looked at his parents. Maria raised her hand in joy and said, "Wait a minute. I had no idea your mother had so much money. You never mentioned this when we got married." Michael shouted, and his family quickly started complaining. "Isn't that fraud? That's awful. You kept it a secret on purpose so Michael wouldn't get any of it. What a selfish woman." They continued to accuse me, and from what they were saying, it was clear they were upset that only Anna and I were set to inherit everything. My father-in-law, noticing the important part, looked at us and I calmly explained, "Yes, the inheritance is split between Anna and me only. Michael doesn't get any of it." We found the will yesterday while going through my mother's things. Hearing this, Michael's family turned red with anger, especially his mother, who is furious. "This can't be allowed. We'll get a divorce, and I'll make sure we get compensation," she screamed. I didn't hesitate and replied, "Yes, I agree to the divorce." The moment I said that, his mother stormed off, probably heading to the city office to get the divorce papers. I didn't stop her and just watched as she left. As his mother walked away, Michael turned to me, grumpy and frustrated. "What are you planning to do now?" he asked. "What do you mean? About the divorce or where you live?" I replied. Michael almost snapped at me, but I calmly said, "This house is already on the market," which surprised him. Confused, Michael exchanged looks with his father, not understanding what I meant. It made sense, though. While Anna and I were spending another night at my mother's house, Michael and his family had no idea I was already selling the house. Seeing their confusion, I spoke with confidence. "I've been feeling this way for a long time. Every time you treated me badly, I kept wondering why I married you. I stayed for Anna's sake, but even she said she couldn't take it anymore." Michael turned pale, shocked by what I said. He looked at Anna, and she met his gaze firmly. "Dad, you always said it hurt to be ignored as the head of the house or to feel unappreciated when you came home tired. But don't you see? You've been neglecting and disrespecting us. That's why things are the way they are," she said, leaving Michael speechless. He silently signed the divorce papers, sulking as he walked away. I thought that was the end of it, but then Maria said something shocking. "If I knew this would happen, I wouldn't have bothered with the renovation." Everyone was stunned by her sudden confession. I was surprised too, especially since it seemed Michael and my father-in-law had no idea what Maria had done. My father-in-law yelled, "Why would you do something like that without asking?" Maria, however, didn't seem bothered. She started making excuses casually, saying, "I just wanted my dream room. I thought, why not take over this house and renovate it? And if you're selling it, why not fix it up and sell it for more?" Her carefree attitude made both Anna and me frustrated. Michael and my father-in-law were just as upset, with Michael clenching his fists in anger. Finally, unable to hold back, Michael shouted, "Even if we were going to sell it or live here, you should have told us first. Where were we supposed to live during the renovation?" Though Michael's words were a bit jumbled, his point was clear. Maria seemed surprised by this and responded with, "Oh, really?" Just as Michael was about to yell again, we saw my mother-in-law running toward us, holding the divorce papers. "I got it! The divorce papers. Now sign them," she said excitedly, out of breath. She had no idea about the argument that just took place, but that didn't matter to me. I took the papers from her and handed them to Michael. "You sign them. After all the times you've belittled me, you agree to the divorce, right?" Michael immediately refused, probably because he now knew about my mother's inheritance. But I couldn't take his behavior or his family's actions any longer. I decided to push him, saying, "What? Changing your mind? All of a sudden, I guess you've been in a good mood lately, because you thought you'd take over my house, huh? Too bad. Even without my mother's inheritance, I had no intention of giving you this house. And it's already planned to be sold. Either way, you'll end up homeless." At my words, Michael looked bitterly at the divorce papers, trying to control his anger. I knew exactly what would push his buttons. I added, "It might hurt your pride, but if you sign this divorce paper, I might finally feel some relief." I said this hoping that by acting confident, Michael would be easily swayed, knowing how he often looked down on me. These words reflected both my strength and strategy and my true feelings. As I expected, Michael's face turned red with anger. He grabbed the divorce papers from me and started signing right away. "Fine, if you want it so badly, I'll give you your divorce," he snapped. I felt a sense of relief seeing him act so quickly. I had worried he might change his mind if he calmed down, but Michael was predictable. Once he handed me the half-filled divorce papers, I quickly filled in my part to avoid any more surprises. Then I gave the completed papers to Anna and turned to Michael's family. "Now all that's left is to submit this to the city office, so take all the stuff you brought with you." Wait a minute. Are you serious?" Michael's father asked. "You said you'd feel relieved if Michael signed the papers." "That's right," I replied, but I never agreed to the move. "What renovation?" his father asked, confused. "What renovation?" I asked, not knowing what they were talking about. My mother-in-law, who also seemed unaware, grabbed Maria, demanding an explanation. A heated argument broke out, and while Michael and his father tried to intervene, Anna and I tried to leave. But Michael and Maria, determined not to let us go, grabbed at us. Luckily, the movers, who had been watching everything with concern, stepped in to help. In the middle of the chaos, we suddenly heard police sirens. I looked around and saw that neighbors had gathered, drawn by all the noise. A police car was approaching with its lights flashing. Someone must have called the police. For a moment, we felt relieved, but that relief didn't last long. As Michael's family seemed ready to attack us again, just in time, the police stepped in and stopped them. Even then, Michael's family wouldn't calm down, and another officer had to escort us to a police car for safety. Maria, thinking we were being arrested, tried to throw things into the house but was quickly stopped by the police. More officers arrived, and finally, the situation began to settle as Michael's family quieted down. The police asked us to come with them for questioning. Things got worse when either Michael, Maria, or both resisted the officers, leading to their arrest for interfering with the police. Michael's parents were also scolded and taken to the station for questioning. Anna and I watched the entire scene from the police car, feeling both shocked and relieved. After we gave a brief statement, Michael and I were officially divorced. Even though Michael tried to fight it at first, he had already signed the papers. So, with the help of a lawyer, the process went smoothly. Soon after, my house was sold, and I received the money from the sale. Maria had wanted to renovate it, but the house had already been updated when my mother passed it down to me. So a buyer appeared quickly. Although my in-laws were not prosecuted, they can't return to the house I inherited. They had sold their own home expecting to move into mine, so now they're left without a place to live. Because of the big scene they caused, they've become outcasts in the community, struggling to fit in anywhere. My claim for compensation has put even more pressure on Michael's family. Word about the incident spread to Michael's workplace, and he first received a pay cut, then chose to resign. Now, he works different jobs to pay the compensation and child support for Anna. He's having a hard time managing his income and expenses and is juggling several jobs just to keep up. Maria kept working as a beauty consultant, pretending nothing had happened, but rumors about the incident reached her clients and bosses. Eventually, she was fired. She had been living a flashy lifestyle, and her savings ran out quickly. Like Michael, she now works multiple jobs to make ends meet and pay me compensation. As for my in-laws, it seems the chaos after the incident led to their divorce, and they're now living separately. My mother-in-law, who has been shunned by the neighbors, lost her part-time job. My father-in-law, who had planned to enjoy retirement, now has to use most of his pension for compensation payments to me. He's even looking for a job despite his age. They're all facing hard times, but I hope this gives them time to reflect on their actions. Meanwhile, Anna and I have moved to a new house. Even if Michael's family tries to contact Anna's school, it won't be a problem as she's already transferred. I'm continuing my work from home, and thinking about the peaceful days ahead with Anna brings a smile to my face. Feeling free from all the past troubles, I plan to live happily with Anna, just the two of us.